And we're live.
And we're live. Well, folks, welcome to the Brian McCarthy interview show. My name is Brian McCarthy. Brian Patrick McCarthy on my license, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, because we had to do bought some tickets with some points, and so they said, "What?
Is that right?
I always get nervous. They go,
Full name?
"How does your name look exactly as it appears on your government ID?" I said, "Oh,
very persnickety.
which one? Let me check with the boys at Al Qaeda."
Mm-hmm.
So
Your
welcome,
ISIS ID?
yeah, ISIS
identification card?
yeah, my ISIS identification card. Oh, I double checked. And instead of organ donor, just donor.
Right.
You can have all of it in the service of Allah.
You remember when there was like, they realized that the Toyota Tacoma was like the official vehicle of ISIS, and then Toyota was like all freaked out about it. That was funny.
Is it because of the symbol on the front of it, or
no, it was just they just all uniformly drove like it was like a Tundra or a Tacoma or something like that.
Well, I always see like when you watch those like UN, like those UN support cars, they're always like Land Cruisers, like they're always like Toyota Land Cruisers, and frankly, it'd be funny if that was like an option on like an extended cab Tacoma. They're like, how many 9-year-old Somalian boys can fit in the back of this with AK-47s?
Right. How many radicalized Muslims?
Yeah, Muslims. Everybody, welcome to the show. That's Adam, of course. I'm Brian. If you're listening, it's your boy. Holler at it. Smash that like button. By the way, but if you are watching,
holler and smash.
If you leave a comment, it's very helpful. But all you have to do, and by the way, the comment can just say comment. Doesn't even matter. Just while you're listening, just go comment.
Maybe put a number. Comment 1.
Yeah, comment 1 could be
2.
Yeah, comment 666.
Quip
if you're
7.
The devil.
Right.
Yeah. So it just it helps. I hate to ask. I hate to be a guy, and I think it's a very funny story that I will tell about a homeless person in a minute. But if you're listening, it's a podcast, and thank you for listening. And obviously, after this, we're going to do the Patreon, a very sexy Patreon this week, a very horny, sexy.
Okay.
I've decided I want to start telling stories on the Patreon that I haven't told yet that I do not want my children to hear, because I have a suspicion once in a while that,
and as long as they're not within earshot of us right now,
right? No, they're not.
That could be a problem.
They're not. And also, if they join the Patreon, welcome, girls.
Yeah,
this is
you're saying they can, but they need to support you financially.
You got to pay to play, right? And don't just throw $1 at daddy. Give daddy $3 at least. Although it is technically my money, but anyway, I have to go to Orlando in July, and I'm trying to bump up the Patreons for a little strip club slush fund, as it were. So, although I don't know, I don't think it's me, and I'm going alone. So I don't know. I've never been to a strip club in Orlando
alone.
Well,
you're going for an event or something, right?
I'm going for the National Federation for the Blind, and we're that TV show, Don't Look Back, the pilot.
Don't Look Now?
Don't Look Now. Yeah, that's one. Sorry. Don't Look Now is going to be screening at the Regal Cinema across the street from the NFB headquarters. So they're going to do a panel, and the director, shout out to Gino Marks, said, "Hey, can you come down? Because you're the star." No, he didn't say that to visit, but he said, "Come down." So, and one of the actresses, Olga, she's coming from Australia. So I'm going to go down on the 4th, and I'll be there to the 8th. And nothing is more of a 4th of July destination than a convention hotel in Orlando. It's going to be hot as balls down there. So it's fine.
You'd be hard pressed to come up with something more American. I feel like.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'll probably, if you're blind, who cares? Who cares about fireworks? You know what I mean?
True.
Oh, there goes a big one. It's blue. It's red.
You sort of vaguely.
I can
get the idea.
Yeah, but the NFB,
like a lot of Vaseline on the lens.
Well, now we're talking. By lens, I hope you mean butthole. Yeah, exactly. Well, the NFB is really for I think it's a lot of blind people. I think I may have told you, this is the one that Brian said, be careful when you go to the bar, the bathroom by the bar. He said, because it's just puddles of piss in the bathroom because the blind people miss the urinal. So I'll get down there and drink it like a dog. Yummy, yummy, yummy. There's still some booze in this. Am I still sober if I drink blind guy piss?
Too bad there's not like a weird blind guy water sports person. You know what I mean? That's like just laying down there, like just in case.
I see,
And
like
they're with like a rock hard boner.
I wonder if
There's got to be some crossover.
No,
The
there's
kink
always-
community.
there's at least always one guy. There's always one guy, and that one guy, there's another guy that's into this. There's at least two people that are into some kind of unbelievably bizarre.
I mean, when it comes to getting pissed on by accident, it really only takes one. You know what I mean? One well-placed blind person.
But you would want to think that the person doing the pissing is also getting off on it.
Okay,
so
that's part of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, you need like you got to have the yin to the yang for that. I mean, although if you're just laying there and your guide dog's probably at the door, like, Jesus Christ, how did I get this guy?
Right.
What a fucking guide dog's like, listen, I'll put up with a lot, but I got a golden shower blind guy now. This is what I'm doing here.
Guide dog looks at the camera and says, "It's a living."
Yeah.
Shrugs and says, "It's a living."
I knew this was going to be a rough job, but I didn't know it's pretty.
Dog's probably got dog puns.
Yeah,
right?
You're barking up the wrong tree. Right. I don't know why he sounds like a bad Scooby Doo. Yes. Oh, Raggy, lay on my stomach and cover me in blind guy piss. Get out of here. Give me a brown Scooby snack straight from the tap. Yum, 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 yum. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah. And if you're listening, it's a good podcast. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. And if you're watching, it's YouTube or it's Facebook. So welcome to all that shit. It is, if you can see the background, it's Hot Girl Summer. I don't know if you folks remember a couple of years ago, one of our, I don't want to speak for Adam, but I think I am, one of our favorite recording artists, Chet Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Hanks's oldest son, probably from the first. I
want to say Colin's probably his oldest, right?
Oh yeah, that's probably right. Yeah.
Are they? And they're from different mothers, Colin and Chet.
Yes.
Okay.
Rita Wilson, I believe, is the second wife, and the first one is her name was her surname was Miss Bosom Buddies. So they met during the, I don't know if they met. I don't know, but he was married before. See, you're right. Wow. That's Colin. Chet is the second. So Chet grew up like. Because Chet's probably at least 30, maybe even 35. And for those of you who are listening,
boys. I'm going to rank the Hanks boys.
Okay. There's probably only two. If there's a third, that's even more of a piece of shit than Chet Hayes, I want to hang out with that guy. Because that guy really has it on the ball. Chet Hayes is like, yo, you got to check yourself.
There's also a Truman Hanks.
Oh, God.
An Elizabeth Hanks.
Wow.
He's got 4 kids.
God, Tom Hanks, stop fucking every 10 seconds.
Right?
Wow, Truman Hanks.
Chester is Chet.
Yeah, Chester is Chet.
Is 33.
Okay.
Theodore Hanks.
How many fucking kids does this guy have?
That's also Truman Theodore Hanks, 28. Colin, 45, and Elizabeth, 41.
Wow, Colin Hanks is 45. I mean,
yeah, that makes sense. He's a little older than me, a couple years.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems like, I just remember the last thing he was in Orange County with Jack Black, and I know that he was in Band of Brothers, barely.
He's a good actor. He's a funny guy. He kind of has that same.
Yeah, is he around? Hanks. Is he doing stuff?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He's a very successful actor.
Okay, what's he
talking about? Colin?
Yeah. No, I don't mean Chet Hayes. Yeah, yo, I'm a Zoom personal trainer, dog.
And I remember for a while he was Hayes, and then he went to Hanks with an X, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if is that currently what he is.
If I was him, I would change my name to Tom Hanks's son. That's my full name.
Tom Hanks Jr.
Tom Hanks Jr.
Unauthorized.
Yo, what's up, pops? Yo, Forrest Gump is up in this motherfucker. Yeah, because Tom is he the youngest of all of them?
Chet.
Yeah.
No. Is that Truman Theodore is who seems like he's like the Alex P. Keaton. He must have gone, the other direction.
Why? What does he have to? Can you see there from the internet?
He just looks very straight.
Oh yeah.
He looks very buttoned down.
Well,
Truman.
Let's be honest. Chet's crazy enough for everybody. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to give Chet Hanks a run for his money. Here's the thing too, is like he's young enough, because I know Tom Hanks is worth he's worth at least $250 million. I mean, he's a very, very
I'm sure
wealthy guy. Yeah. And so that with that kind of money, Chet Hayes grew up really, really rich. And
yeah, I mean, like only a white dude that speaks patois.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, did you know that kid though growing up? Because like I had a kid I had like a Chet Hayes growing up that I was friends with. Like, did you know a bored rich kid that just had too much money and free time?
Well, I will say this. My friend went to a very kind of fancy private school called Gilman, and I knew a lot of kids there. And there was definitely like, the kind of like the dirtiest kid who like smelled like patchouli, who played with like a what are those hacky sack and a tam. Remember the tam, those hats? It was like that embroidered, like it was a kind of hat you put over dreadlocks, like
Sure.
the dirtiest, smelliest kid. As a matter of fact, that girl, Nancy Franklin, who did the show, she had a boyfriend in her family. The kids, the parents are very wealthy, and he would be like that. He'd be like, he was just total burnout.
Okay.
And I think those kids eventually got into heroin. So it was never a good ending.
That's
but
usually always kind of what happens.
But like a 14 or 15-year-old who was like, yeah, man, I've got, they would have like those steal your face bears like on their lacrosse sticks or something. Like, you know what's funny is like, I like sorry everybody, but I like embroidered shorts. And so there's a company called Castaway Clothing, and they do. It's
everybody's got their thing.
Everybody has their thing. Yeah, mine's that and having sex with children. And
Right.
So, but this with Castaway Clothing, it's basically like incredibly preppy clothing, and they sell like embroidered belts. Like here, you can't see it. See, look at this one.
Sure,
it's American flag. I'm wearing an American flag belt. Just trying to take it around for a spin.
You're a patriot.
Yeah. Still, I use this American belt to get migrants off of the
QAnon belt buckle.
Yep, QAnon belt buckle. I was trying to do a QAnon thing, but I couldn't think of one.
Marjorie Taylor Greene line.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not calling you Dr. Fauci. You're Mr. Fauci. I would have been like, fuck you, you cunt. I'm out of here. Am I really still listening to this fucking cunt? Anybody else? Really? We're doing this right now? Anyway, so but if you go on to Castaway Clothing, their embroidered belts, they have like a line of Grateful Dead, like embroidered.
Okay.
There's a company called Smathers and Branson, and they make embroidered belts, and they
exclusively for trust fund kids.
Basically. Well, yeah, they do them like golf, like the PGA Golf Tour, right. Or like ones that'll have like Labradors on them. This is like very white clothing, or ones with like it's a lot of alcohol. Like ones that'll have like all the different cans of different types of American beer that go around, and the belts are like $250. And but yeah, they're the but it's also like, remember Jerry Garcia had a line of ties?
Vaguely remember that.
So it's a way to show like the other preppies, like, hey, I'm not just about, I'm about also. You guys get fucked up. I do acid and also sail. I sail on acid. That's what I do. That's my bag. But yeah, okay. So let me just tell you the homeless story, because I think this is really great. So
yeah, there's always it's impossible to sort of avoid.
Well,
your everyday.
Well, hold on. You're not going to see this one
around. Okay,
you're not going to see this one coming. So I'm going to start off by
this did not happen on a bench somewhere.
This, by the way, and I want to try to like preface this by saying, because my mother she's going to get upset because she's going to think I'm making fun of her, and I'm not.
Oh, because your mother came.
This story is about my mother.
Your mother's is about your mother. Okay.
My mother's homeless. I didn't tell you that. So she's
the homeless person.
She is.
She's unhoused.
Yep, she's unhoused. She's
okay. So this is
she's one of those
mother's encounter with.
She's one of those people that runs up to you in Penn Station and goes, "I just lost my train. I need $18 to get to my mother."
Yes. I have money. I just need more.
Yes.
Look.
See, I have some money.
They would show you like $11.
Yeah. Look at that. I just need
a Velcro wallet.
Yeah. I need another 60. Why? I don't know. To see if you're going to give it to me.
The number I arbitrarily picked.
Because I'm going
it'll give me a lot of heroin.
Yeah. I'm going to 60ville. It's a town in Long Island that's very far away. No. So my mother was in town last Sunday. It was a lovely visit. Everything was fine.
Just Sunday.
Barely any time at all. She
just took a day trip.
Yeah.
Wow.
She took the bus up. I picked her up on 34th Street. We went to brunch. And then after brunch, she took my daughters, her grandchildren, to a Broadway musical. There's a women's suffrage musical in town called Suff. and it's produced by Hillary Clinton. I'm
Oh
convinced.
yeah, right. I saw a
Yeah.
commercial for that.
I'm convinced this musical is just there to make like conservatives furious. They're like, what are we gonna do? How can we make a musical that's just gonna make the red state nuts? It produced by Hillary Clinton, the star of Whitewater, the musical. But apparently, my daughter, who really likes musicals, and she would tell me otherwise. I mean, she would be polite, in front of my mom or whatever, but afterwards she was like, it was really great. The music was great. She really enjoyed it. So there you go. And so that was so. And then after the musical, I picked my wife and I went down to scoop them up at the theater, right in Times Square. And then my Jocelyn took the girls back to the apartment, and then I took my mom to a French place. We had a little bit of a snacky poo. She had a glass of rosé, and I put her back on the bus, and that was that.
Nice.
I mean, listen, she enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I would have been happy to have her as long as she wanted to stay, and that's as long as she wanted to stay. So that's fine. Anyway, so we're talking over brunch, and my mom is just telling us about various things. So my mom lives in an area of Baltimore. It's a suburb of Baltimore, but it's kind of out. It's an area of Baltimore that I don't know at all. It's called Howard County, and it's a suburb, but it's another side of Baltimore that I'm meaning like it's on a side of Baltimore that I'm not familiar with. I know I know the area, but I never. It's like Ellicott City. Nothing. Who cares? Catonsville, Ellicott City, Columbia. It's an area of Baltimore that I know, but I've never been there. And because of COVID, and I haven't ever seen the new house. But my mom is always telling me like apparently close to where she lives, like 30 years ago, it was all farms, and it's still pretty rural, here and there. But apparently there's a huge like Koreatown area. I don't know, who knew,
in Baltimore,
in this part of
city, or in this
Howard County is what it's called.
Wow,
yeah,
in a suburb of Baltimore.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of.
I'm gonna look up
Howard.
I'm always very curious where things are.
Yeah,
what
look it
direction.
Yep. It's on your way out to Frederick, Maryland. Boy,
okay.
This is really, normally we just talk about the New York City
about,
subway
crab
system.
cakes and lake trout.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh, lake trout. Forget. But
Wait,
enough.
Howard County, you said.
But enough about my ex-wife.
Oh,
yeah.
fucking
cunt smells like fucking fish.
Right.
Yeah, Howard County. I don't even know Ellicott City in particular.
Howard County, Maryland.
Maryland. That's right.
So
it's by like Anne Arundel County, I think.
Okay, so it's kind of
like western, southwestern.
Yeah. Kind of straight west, but down a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and the part of Baltimore,
DC.
Yes, the part of Baltimore that I'm more familiar with is the Baltimore City, of course, and then north of it, which would be like Towson, and then on the other side is like Parkville, where my dad is from, and whatever. So anyway, the point is like my mom will make references to where she lives, and I have no idea what she's talking about, which is fine. I listen. So there's apparently a grocery store, and you may know of these. It's called Aldi, ALDI.
Yeah, I've heard of an Aldi. I've never been to an Aldi.
Okay. Well, what I thought an Aldi was I thought an Aldi was like a fancy grocery store, like a Whole Foods, or I don't know.
I'm not sure in the packing order where.
Well, I'm wrong.
It's not fancy.
It's like a discount, kind of almost sort of like a warehouse type of thing. Like my mom said that everything's just kind of, it shows up and it's in, like, let's say
just take it off a pallet. They just kind of have pallets.
They're like half peeled oranges. Yeah. It's the way that I understand it is it's like you go in and it's just not fancy. And they, if you see like a box of, let's just say oranges, they're just open and they're all on the floor. You got to pick them up and look at them. Wow. This one, no, but I don't think, I just think it's like a warehouse type of a store. It doesn't really matter to the story, but so we're just listening. And my mom is telling us about how she went to Aldi and blah, 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 blah. She came out, blah, blah. And then she says, on the way out, she said she saw a homeless woman. And the homeless woman was sitting in front of this Aldi, the store, and she was panhandling. And the woman had a kid with her, which, again, it's kind of dirty pool to bring your kid. And you're definitely doing major psychological damage to that child. Like, have you seen a lot in our subway system now? There's a lot of, they look like they're Hispanic. They're women. Yeah. They're usually about 4'5",
selling candy.
Yeah, candy.
And they got a sleeping child,
and they have a
very cute sleeping child.
But the kid could be up to about 9 years old. Sometimes I
always see them with just little kids. I never seen older kids.
Sometimes I've seen the older child, and the older child will actually be part of the sales pitch.
Yeah.
and
I
they're the
have
one
seen that when it's like a tween or something.
yeah. Or I look closely and it's just a well-shaved dwarf. I'm like,
Yes.
you're not a 9-year-old boy. You're a 45-year-old Ecuadorian who's never had protein. But no, it's like, yeah,
Ecuadorian Mario Bowser.
yeah. He's saying, "Ooh, muchas gracias. Do you want some Starburst? Yo quiero Starburst. Ooh, I got yo quiero pasteles."
Mario Bosco did actually.
Oh no.
I forget, he did some sort of thing like that in Coney Island, like he sold like bubbles or something like that.
God, come on,
You know,
man.
no, I'm not kidding. Like
Too easy.
he had some kind of a, and this is not a joke. He had some kind of racket.
I'm not
where,
surprised
like,
at all.
he sold like
You know,
noisemakers on New Year's Eve or
a
something.
major concern if I was Mario Bosco is that I would get trapped in a bubble and float away.
Right.
Like the evil, like the 3 bad guys from
Oh,
Superman
no.
2. Oh no. No, like Icarus. I'm gonna float too close to the sun.
It is coming.
Oh, I should. And then hopefully a giant eagle will swoop and save him. Put him in a nest somewhere. Oh, thanks, Mr. Eagle. Now I'm up in the Eyrie. Where God can, I'm closer to Jesus up here. Yeah, everything always works out for him. He's like a little Mr. Magoo kind of, but everything always works out.
Oh
right?
man, always lands on his feet.
Yeah. Well, I have the book over there. One time when I was in, this is years ago, but one time I was in Bay Ridge and I was walking down 86th Street and we were going to this is Jocelyn, matter of fact, and we were going to lunch and we looked down and there was a dwarf and he was wearing a tuxedo and he was sitting in a folding chair with a table and he had all these self-published memoirs that were stacked on a table and he was selling them. And it was the book is right in my shelf.
I have to get.
Yeah, I'll lend it to you.
What's it called? If I look really quick,
you'll if you look.
I don't
all right,
but too much.
Okay, but you would find it. It's pretty easy. It's I use the Dewey Decimal System. It's under S for short. Okay. No, but it's called like Under the Rainbow or something. I swear to God, it's something like that. And it's all these stories about.
Really
go take a peek. Yeah. So I'll explain. So basically, the guy was sitting on a little folding chair, and he had all these books stacked, and and he had a very much like a little person face with the mustache and the goatee, and but a big head. And he had a sign up that said no pictures. So you weren't allowed to take a picture of him. Hey, real quick, look at the stacks on the bottom. Maybe the stacks, maybe it's not it could be down there, just as an idea. It'd be easier to look through those anyway. And if not, we'll take a picture of the front and we'll tweet it out to you so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, well, we'll find it later. We will. Sorry, everybody. So, but the guy had to sign up because he didn't want people to come up. Like, you could take a picture of him, but you had to pay him. Yes. So people were coming up and they were just
Comic-Con.
And they were just ignoring his little sign. So I stopped and I looked at the guy with this sign in the books, and immediately I said, how much is a book?
Oh, I 100% would buy a book from that guy.
And he looks up at me and he looked at me. He goes, $40.
Okay.
I was like,
wow.
Okay. You know what? I'm just going to pay.
We had a price surge.
I'm just going to,
momentarily.
I had a Caucasian price surge.
Yes.
Or probably he was
is he of another ethnicity?
No, he was white.
Okay, he was
white. But I mean,
white on white.
I guess he
gouging.
Oh yeah. Well, he probably, it looked like he picked one up and like blew a cloud of dust off one of them.
Yes, like, why?
Yeah.
He probably had never set a price.
And I had him autograph it, and I think he autographed it to like from the little guy with the big heart or something like that. Yeah. And so anyway, so what I'm saying about Mario Bosco, I will get back to the Aldi story, I promise. But when you're talking about Mario Bosco, I have seen little people with a little bit of a little gimmick.
Hustle. Little.
Which, listen,
I mean, a lot of times you're not able to do
I don't begrudge anybody. Right. I don't begrudge. Make a living. It's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, but this is an entirely different situation. This is somebody. So apparently it was a white woman who is sitting, Indian style or crisscross
Okay.
applesauce. Can't say Indian style anymore.
Native American style.
Yeah, Native American, right?
Indigenous style.
First Nation style.
First Nation style.
Yes, and
Navajo style.
Navajo. Hey,
I'll shout out the actual specific tribe when I do it.
enough about my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Cuyahoga style.
Yeah. Wow, that was good. It's an Ohio.
That's
it's a
in
deep
Ohio,
cut.
yeah.
Shawnee style.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Eskimo style. That's not really
Eskimo
it.
style.
That's not a brand of an Eskimo. That's
When
a
you fuck on ice, I think.
derogatory term for. They've got 100
Eskimo kisses.
when you rub your noses. Yeah, because the rest of their face is covered in
alpaca fur.
Alpaca fur. Alpaca you lunch if you're gonna go fucking camping.
Give it to
Yeah.
me. Go ahead.
It's got you packing. So the guy goes. So there's a woman sitting there, and my mom says she noticed on the way out this person sitting there. But then my mother says I noticed them on the way in, and apparently the kid was playing with I said to my mom, I said, well, how old was the child? Because it's an important part, I thought, of the story. And my mother goes, well, he had an iPhone and was like playing on an iPhone. So the kid was at least at the kid could have been 3, could have been 13, really, at that point. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I thought it was funny because my mother, and again, I don't think I'm funny either, but my mother does not she doesn't think I'm funny.
She's not amused by it. She stonewall you. You get iced a lot.
I don't know. I don't think she wants to encourage me. She does laugh. I don't know. Like, I'll say things in my mind. Like, she was talking about the suffrage musical, and I told my mom, I said, the original title for this musical was Little Troublemakers.
Yeah. Shut those broads up.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun stuff.
We want to pull the lever. We're just as clever as any man in the room.
Wow.
You let the guys all swoon when we vote for democracy. So it writes itself. So anyway, so my mom
improvised suffrage.
So I said to my mom, I said, iPhone, are you sure it wasn't like a Galaxy? Because I feel like that's not it.
That's exactly what I thought. I thought, are we talking Android or was this a genuine iPhone?
Because I also feel like, my mom being a boomer would just assume that an iPhone,
it's a smartphone.
iPhone is at this point, everyone just calls the smartphones iPhone. And also, it's probably not a 15 Pro or anything. It's got to be at least like maybe an 11.
Probably like an 8.
Wow. That's not, they aren't that homeless.
No, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Kids, like, the mom just has a sign up that says need money for phone upgrade.
It is weird when somebody came up to me. I was down in a little restaurant near the seaport the other day, and a guy came up to me and asked me for money, and like he had really nice shoes on, and probably $200 Nike Air Max shoes on. And an iPhone. And it's like, it's tricky because it's like, I guess, you could be very poor maybe and still have those things, but I don't understand how. You better have stole the shoes. Yeah. And the iPhone better be like the Obama phone or something.
If you want money from me, you have to look like a cartoon hobo. I want to see that stick with the bandana around it, and like a top hat that's got the top like lifted off. Like, I want I want an outfit. I want a cosplay.
Yeah. I want you to have just gotten off a boxcar.
Yeah, but I don't want to see crazy. Like, don't run up to me if you're covered in like newspapers and garbage bags.
Sores.
That's too much. Right. Yeah, the sores are too much. So, but yeah, you gotta really put on it's kind of like the Elmos in Times Square. Like, don't take your head off. You're Elmo. It's weird for everybody. Right. Just understand that if you're on the street is your stage, so you can't just walk around to 48th Street around the corner from Bubba Gum Shrimp, take your helmet off, or not.
Well, you're in public in the uniform, the outfit.
Yeah, no. It's it's you're wrecking it for every, you want me to, if you're trying to like accost tourists to take pictures with you. Although if I was going to take a picture with an Elmo, I would go take the helmet off. I want to see the beautiful, because they're always all from El Salvador. It's actually an interesting article I read once. For those of you who are listening who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, Times Square has been inundated with cartoon characters that will run up to you and take pictures. It makes you wish there were still hookers and those black Muslims that would yell at white people that dressed like they were Egyptian royalty. They would stand on the corner, and if you were white, they'd walk by and go, "We brother," from the thing. You remember those guys?
Yeah.
That might be before. Okay.
Are they? Wait, you're talking about the Black Israelites?
I am.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm talking about the guys who would dress like,
and they have like they have like a PA system.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, and they dress like they were in the band Parliament. You know, where they have like curly shoes and like green capes and things, and they would. And then the best part was they would yell at Jews in particular. They'd be like Israel. They would address them Israelite, and then some old Jewish guy would turn and go, "Why are you busting my balls for? Look at you standing there. You look ridiculous. What is it? Halloween already for you, Schwarzes?" And
I don't really know kind of their story. I don't know the Black Israel, where they're coming from.
It's like a branch of the Farrakhan 5%ers, but they're not. They're
Farrakhan the nation guy?
Yes.
Oh, so they're like the Jewish version of
something like that. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm just saying, if I was like an Orthodox guy, I wouldn't even know why they were mad. I wouldn't know what the deal. Well, I would know maybe if I was.
Those I have seen over the years, and again, you don't see those guys around really anymore, but like I have seen those guys get into heated theological debates with Orthodox Jews because they'll call them out. And I'll tell you one thing: hey, welcome home, everybody. My daughter's home because it's the last day of school. So,
okay.
Hi, sweetheart.
Really? School's out for the summer.
School. She's a senior. God. Yay, everybody. Yay.
Prank? Are you going to plan any pranks? Do they still do that?
Senior day?
Senior pranks? Do they do that here? And
I'll take another one. You want to do 2 sweet loaves for me, honey? And then you can give some me, sweetheart, if you don't mind. All right. And then Daddy's talking about the time he killed a prostitute. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I'm just kidding. I get so freaked out when I worry that the girls hear the show, but I have anyway, but we're not even, you can hear what we're talking about. It's no big deal. So anyway, but those guys, those Israelites, those guys, they seem to know a tremendous amount about the Torah. So they can actually get into
you got to do your homework.
Well, they know their stuff. So whatever my point to answer your question is, whatever they are talking about in terms of the PA system and yelling at white people and Jews and other black, they yell at everybody, but they definitely have a bee in their bonnet about that whole thing. So, but they're coming from an educated place, and they'll have another guy read scripture anyway. But now instead of those guys, it's all like Elmos. We saw I when I was with the girls on Sunday, I saw a giant King Kong. You see
you're talking about like in Times Square,
like wandering around taking pictures of tourists, and that's what they do. So if you're listening, that's what we're referring to.
Has there ever been a stunt where like a Ryan Reynolds or like I said Ray Parker Jr., Robert Downey Jr. like dresses up?
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Dresses up.
People be like, "Who are you?"
Dresses up as like Iron Man, taking pictures with people, and then reveals themselves. That would be a good like PR stunt. I feel like
this is in a similar vein, but you've seen the ones where Jimmy Fallon goes down to the subway and he puts on his disguise and he'll go sing with we'll go sing with like U2.
Yeah.
And they'll all put on mustaches and then they'll rip it off and he'll be like, "Look, it's Bono." And everyone's like, "Who's Bono?" Who?
Nobody in the subway cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah, exactly. I'm here with the other Hall and Oates guy, not Hall or it's the other Oates. Thank you, darling.
Yeah. Maybe call up Vampire Weekend, Jimmy, next time, or like somebody that maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I know that's even 10 years behind, but somebody that Brooklynites would care about,
that the kids would know,
right?
Yeah. Or at least, And by the way, can Jimmy Fallon stop jumping on fucking stage with people?
Jumping on stage with people doing stunts. Yeah, like he's always like he can't.
Stop being in it. You're not supposed to be in it.
Like he can't.
Yeah, you're the host of the show.
He must have weird, he must have crazy demons that he's running from, because he's like going to fucking I don't know, wherever the fuck go
ahead.
Wherever he went to college, and like going to the house that he lived at and shit, knocking on the door, you know what I mean, weird
no
stunts where he's like out and at a certain point you show up so much that it's like, I mean,
for example, to your point,
You're everywhere.
I have heard Conan O'Brien, like if people are getting like, I know a story in particular where people were getting married and Conan O'Brien was like in the hotel and he just came into the wedding and was like, hey, look at me. Like I do too.
Sure.
I also do.
Right. I do, but taller.
Yeah.
Taller and with
Hey,
pompadour.
Hey, marry me instead.
Right. I heard Jay Leno is like that too. Like
Yes.
Jay Leno is apparently he's always driving around like big fucking
Yeah,
crazy steam powered cars.
Steam powered cars from 1892.
And it's like just sort of like a never ending kind of meet and greet. Like he'll go up to people at like fairs and ask it if he can have like a bite of their funnel cake or something.
Can you believe they're frying butter? Oh, look at that, they're frying butter.
Which is kind of like it's I guess it's good for like a big celebrity to be nice like that, but I don't need you to be that nice. I don't want you interrupting my conversation.
You're also like with Jimmy Fallon, like number one, look, I'm not a fan, so whatever. But at the same time, it's like I listen to Howard and he's always like, oh, Jimmy wants us to do a show where we go on stage and we perform. And it's like, I don't give a shit about watching Jimmy Fallon.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the Beatles. Great. I love the Beatles too. I don't want to watch Jimmy Fallon sing Blackbird. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know, like, dude, just host the, that's a recurring thing for me is like, it's not enough. You know what I mean? It's just not enough for somebody. Like, you can't just be like, I'm going to host the Tonight Show. I'm going to make whatever it is, $18 million a year. I've heard he's a huge drunk.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard that too.
And by the way, and I haven't heard
drunk.
Well, this is Hollywood gossip with Brian and Adam.
Yes.
Right. Also, I've heard Richard Simmons might be gay. Woo! But what I'm trying to say is that, and by the way, I haven't heard that. Like, I've heard that from somebody who like has worked on his house, like somebody who did interior design.
Okay.
And his wife is a big casting director. And
I want to say 3 Christmases ago, he did like a Christmas song with Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh,
and like
Ariana
Grande.
Okay.
And he was doing press and I met him on Zoom because
Okay.
I was engineering a show that he was on. And I will say I remember him being very nice.
Yes.
And he didn't, I'm just like a guy that's going,
don't do this. Don't do this right now. Don't.
You know, I'm saying,
I hate it when you discount yourself and who you are.
No, my point being, not that I'm discounting myself.
I need a minute for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll do my affirmations in the mirror later.
Please.
Brian makes me do affirmations in the mirror. And if I talk bad about myself, he'll stop me and go, hey, Adam, don't talk about my friend like that.
Yeah. Mario can put himself in a bubble. I don't want you putting yourself in a bubble.
But what my point being
go ahead.
is I can always gauge if people are nice because I'm the help.
Yeah, right.
And especially in this situation, I'm very much the help. So if they're nice to me, I think they're genuinely pretty nice people.
Yeah. And again, it's not a question for me anyway about being nice or not. And like, I remember years ago,
I'm just only making a point. Just because I want to say, I do think he's genuine, but it's fucking weird. It's weird that he's so out there.
Yes. And like, for example, years ago, Kurt Metzger did the Tonight Show, even before it was a Tonight Show. Okay. And Kurt told me the same thing. Kurt was like, I was just a comic going on to do a spot. And like Jimmy came in and like rubbed his shoulders and sat with him for a few minutes beforehand. And was like,
that might have been, we might have stumbled onto something.
He flossed
different.
He flossed his teeth, right? Gave him a necktie, gave him like way too many presents. Asked him about the contents of his gift basket. He's like, do you like the Toblerone or is it too much?
Forced himself on me.
Yeah, exactly. Fucked his mouth.
Right.
Blew his load in Jimmy Fallon's in Kurt's face. Made Kurt swallow it in front of him. Then made Kurt smoke cigarettes. Kurt's like, I don't even smoke. He's like, you do now, faggot. Yes. No, but I have heard Jimmy Fallon's a very nice guy, but I've also heard he's screaming drunk. And I also do feel like these bits are like, dude, you don't need to put yourself in every fucking thing.
Ask your buddy, Nick Novicki. I don't know if Nick was involved with this story or not, but I listened to Nate Bargatze's podcast.
Sure you do.
And he was like on the tour. Jimmy Fallon went on the tour bus. I guess with them. Like he went out for a week to like I guess he does stand up.
Sure he does.
And he apparently like had like a Bluetooth speaker and he hooked it up to his like iPhone, so it would be like his alarm clock.
Yep.
And he did this thing, but in real life, a bit where he just woke up the entire tour bus and like played, I don't know, whatever the fuck, like weird jingle to get everybody to like come to his bunk, so he could then pick up his phone and go, "Hey, I can't talk right now. My phone's waking everybody up," or something like that. It was just like
it's like, dude,
some gag,
yeah.
but he just woke up, and it like the staff, all the performers, like 5 dudes that were opening for him. It was like a big arena show or whatever. But so I get the impression that he never turns it off.
No. That's why he gets blackout drunk every minute of his day. Like, I mean,
or maybe he's wasted, and in which you would think something like that would be funny.
And by the way, like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like,
if anybody gets it,
there's a little bit of that in me. You know, like I like to think I'm a little self-aware. Where like if I was hosting the Tonight Show,
but if you were that famous, and had that level of, you know what I mean?
Yes. No.
Who knows? You could be a monster.
It also turns into The Emperor Wears No Clothes. You know what I mean? To a certain extent, like Jimmy Fallon's like, I had this great bit where like Sinbad is going to come on the show and we're going to throw water balloons at him until he tells us what kind of cancer he's dying from. And then
like the Roots will play really cool betting music or something. And you're like, oh, okay.
And
I don't know.
just when he's going to say it, I'm going to run in and say, I have the same cancer, and I'll stand next to him. And then I'm going to do, Why Don't We Do It in the Road by George Harrison. Like, what? Okay, great. Like, no one watches this shit anyway. So
elaborate bits that always end in song.
You realize we're just doing the show so we can put commercials around it. You know, like that's all this show really is for, you know.
You realize people just left their TV's still on. They were watching Law and Order and their TV's just still on.
We're just, we're doing
That's
this.
Kind of what this is.
Yeah. This is for people that still watch NBC.
Right.
So they just don't know how to turn off their television. It's like a what do you call it? A nursing home TV.
Right.
Or like, you know, or one, like when you go to like the chiropractor, you know what always depresses me? Like whenever I go to a doctor's office and I see the TV on the wall, but the cords are hanging. I hate the hanging cords. I'm like, can you just spend the $300 and get the plug mounted in the wall, please? So
you're talking plug I mean, you can even fish it.
You could fish it. Although
get a hole saw.
You're supposed to.
I'll come and do it for $100.
Yeah. All right, Bob Vila.
I did all the ones in my house.
Yeah.
Not to brag.
But. No. But you're supposed to, and I don't want to call you out on this. So, but if you mount a television on the wall, per code, you're supposed to have the plug behind the television. Yeah. But you're fine. You don't give a fuck. You're gangster. You don't give a shit. All right, listen. Let's get back to the Aldi story.
Like you're talking about when they build it.
Anyone
so you either have to have the cord or get one of those things.
If you mount a television, I believe per code you have to have the outlets behind the mount.
Wow.
Yep. Well, hey, listen. I think it's a fire hazard kind of thing.
Outlet behind just physically behind it.
Yeah,
like it doesn't have to cover up because I mean your outlet's on the ground, right?
No. There's a plug right behind the television.
Oh, it's just right behind the television.
Yeah.
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 Maybe if you have a house that's been remodeled
I think code only applies when you remodel. So I think
gotcha. That's probably what it is. Yeah. Because I don't think anybody's enforcing that.
No, there's nobody going around. Hey, let me hi. We heard you got a 32-inch television in your kids in your office there. We want to make sure it's plugged in the wall, or you're going to go to jail for 100 years.
I mean, if you're remodeling, why not put it right
exactly
there, baby?
Exactly. That is why. God, we're really going off fucking topic here, but that's why in one of my kids' rooms, there was a TV there, and there's a plug behind it. That's what made me go, all right, fuck it, let's just put a plug. While we're doing all this, let's just put a plug in the other room. Yeah, even though I will say my children never have their televisions on. If I could have had a 42-inch fucking 4K television just on in my room with a sound bar, I would think I would have died and gone to heaven. But
dude, I had like I had a little like probably 13-inch television in as a teenager or like a late teenager in my room, and it was on constantly. Watching just whatever was on. I don't even think I had a remote control.
No, all I had was a TV guide, and the cover was ripped off, and part of it was about Knots Landing, but that was it. That was how poor we were. It was just a little magazine. And yeah. All right. Anyway, so we're going to tell I promise you we're going to get back to the story right now. So,
right. You were telling that
yeah.
we're
So-
not through the Aldi
No, we're not.
homeless
No,
store.
it's ADHD hour with Brian and Adam.
Right.
So my mom goes in, sees this woman with this kid, but it doesn't register. She goes in, does her shopping. On the way out, sees the woman with the kid. And apparently the woman had a sign up that said, like, I don't have any food, or I have no money. I have no food. I have no money, something along those lines. So my mom stops, and in a rare moment of altruism, and again, I'm not saying my mother's not altruistic. I mean, but what I mean is like, to engage my mom, not only because sometimes you could just give $1 and keep going. My mom decides to, this, according to her,
she wants the backstory.
She engaged. So my mother turned to the woman. How much for the child? I want to buy that child.
That's one option.
It really is.
Want to get rich?
Right.
Well, I mean, do
you want to buy my son? I want to rent him. I'm giving him back, but he's going to be super fucked up. Yeah. Don't ask him what I did with him. But
I have a 1,000-yard stare.
So my mom says to this woman, apparently, she goes, "What do you need?" Okay. Open-ended question. And the woman goes, well, I need food to feed my family. Okay. So my mom, okay, and this is, by the way, so far so good, right? With everything that's happening here.
Yeah.
My mom says to the woman, okay. And then my mom starts rummaging through her own bag of groceries. Okay.
This is post. She's already gone shopping.
She's on her way to her car. She's out to the parking lot. And this in the, and at this Aldi place. I'm assuming it's somewhere close to where she lives, Howard County somewhere. I don't fucking know. But so my mom's on her way out to the parking lot, and she stops and she says to the woman, "What do you need?" And the woman kind of probably points to the sign and goes, "Oh, look at, can't you read, idiot?" And it's, "I need food for my family." So my mom,
I want to hear you say it.
Not yet. Tell me about all your bad decisions. Right? There's some sort of boyfriend in jail or something. Fentanyl. Let me guess. Heron, Baltimore. Heron, baby. So now when you engage a person like this, okay, you've sort of engaged in a social contract at this point. So now it's like, when you say to the person, "What do you need?"
What do you need?
You got to give them something at this point.
Yeah.
Because what do you like? Solomon? No, you're not. I'm not giving you that.
Yeah.
You want bugles? Not on my watch. So and at that point, the woman goes, "I need food." So now the onus is on my mom. So now my mom decides she's going to go through her bag of groceries and she's going to give the woman something in her bag of groceries and just give her a grocery thing. Right. So my mother goes rummaging through her bag and she pulls out and gives the woman a cabbage.
Cabbage.
Yes.
Just I don't know what they call it's just called a cabbage.
I'm guessing a head of cabbage,
similar to lettuce.
All wrapped up in plastic.
Wow. Here's a cabbage.
And hands this woman a cabbage. I guarantee this woman was like, "What the fuck?" Like, number one,
maybe they can like shoot hoops with it or something.
If that doesn't seem like my mom's just fucking with this woman, like, I don't know, like
cabbage. Now she says, "What do you need?" The lady said, "Food for my family."
Yeah.
So then she said, "Let me just see what I got."
Said nothing.
Said nothing. She just started rummaging through her, and she went, "Here."
This is my mom started rummaging through it.
Technically, it is food.
I like to think that she went through and saw some other better things and was like, "Nah, I don't think so." No,
cabbage.
You're not getting the check mix.
I guess I would have to see what it was. I mean, what was in her bag?
Well, here. Okay, so she hands the woman the cabbage, and apparently the woman was like, and to the woman's credit, she didn't just like fall on her stomach and go, "Oh, thank you, my lady.
You so much.
Thank you. Oh, now if only I had water in a pot, I could make a soup to feed my child, who clearly, as you can see, has an iPhone 7 and is using the Wi-Fi to play Minesweeper. Oh, thank you. He's playing that little snake game where you think the thing go up." And my mother, upon further inspection, it's not an iPhone at all. It's just a little piece of metal that just said iPhone on it, written in fancy cursive. So that's what happened. So the woman now has the cabbage. And the woman goes like, "What am I going to do?" The little woman goes like, what am I going to do with this? And I think my mother may have thought, and now I'm sort of getting off the script a little
more
bit.
editorial.
Yeah. It's something along the line, but it was along the lines of like, well, it's a cabbage, and
Sure.
it's healthy. And my mother kind of gave the woman a little bit of a dressing down. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
and then I did ask my mom, I said, why did you have a cabbage? Because number one, a cabbage is not a thing that I think, like, I would buy a cabbage if I was making, like, I don't know, corned beef and cabbage.
Yes. Or
Like,
do you do like stuffed cabbage leaves? Or you ever like
sure.
some sort of a Lebanese type
Or Polish,
or Polish?
perhaps
I don't
a
know.
gołąbki.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't even know what.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I just remember some kind of ground beef.
Yeah. Well, my mother told
wrap.
me that Ina Garten has a really great cabbage recipe.
Okay.
So my mother is going to make the Ina Garten, and at which point I told my mother, you should have gotten that kid's phone number and texted this woman the Ina Garten
100%
recipe.
100%.
That would have cleared up all the awkwardness.
Is Ina Garten, is she like a Food Network person? I don't.
Oh, don't pretend like you don't know.
No,
who
I
Ina Garten
actually
is.
don't. Well, let me look. I'll probably know if I look her up.
Yeah.
It's
She's some woman on the Food Network. She's like a big lady. I think she's placed in the Hamptons, and she stands in a garden with soft light.
Yeah, I recognize her.
Yeah, sure you do.
Sometimes I don't like to watch the Food Network because I just get so hungry.
Yeah, me too.
So like, unless I'm
and the only exercise I'm getting is changing the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, is she Barefoot Contessa?
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yes. But when you're a fan like my mom, you don't just call her Barefoot Contessa.
That may have been
that's that's a character she plays.
Thing I've ever.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like,
I mean, because I've heard of Barefoot Contessa. Is that the name of her show?
That's like saying, who I saw at the mall? Indiana Jones. And you're like, don't you mean Harrison Ford? You're like, well, yeah, it's Indiana Jones.
Is it really a character? No.
I am sort of kidding, but I think the name of the show
I don't know enough about it to get the joke.
The name of the show is The Barefoot Contessa.
Barefoot Contessa.
So I'm assuming Ina Garten.
Got you. It's like me calling Darius Rutger Hootie or something.
Something
you know what
like
I mean?
that.
Like,
yeah.
Hey, it's Hootie.
It's like, Hootie. Yeah.
From
right. Yeah.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Or almost as bad as if you were having to see Corey Feldman and you point and you just go, Lost Boys.
Right.
Lost Boys over there. Frog Brother. Lost. Oh, the
Sure.
frog, And I think a Contessa is the female version of its count.
Okay.
So a count is probably married to a Countessa.
Yeah. I think I always, when I see her, I think like these recipes are going to be a little too down home, maybe.
A little too, what do you mean?
Or like, I don't know. I just figure her like, it's going to be like
clearly something with cabbage.
Yeah, clearly. See, I'm not a big cabbage guy.
It's probably, it's like rustic farm to table. I don't know.
Which that I don't mind.
No, but I'm picking. Is she sort of a Zoftig woman? Is she?
Yeah, she is.
Okay,
she is.
Okay, well, good for her for being on TV and being that size. Good for her. But yeah,
orange marmalade glazed ham.
Ooh, oh god,
crunchy iceberg salad.
See,
with creamy blue cheese.
Okay, well
it's like
she's no slouch in the kitchen. I'll give her that.
Old fashioned apple crisp.
Sounds like a very happy count.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, have you met my wife, the Countess? I am Count Chocula.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is the Barefoot Contessa. That would be great if you went to a Halloween party and I dressed like Count Chocula and my girlfriend was the Barefoot Contessa. And that was it. We were just
Count and Contessa.
Yeah, the Count and Contessa.
I like it.
Okay, so anyway, my mom hands a woman the cabbage, and the woman was like, "What do I do with this?" And the woman was kind of like, "I don't know what to do with this." So my mom, I guess at this point, and again, I'm I'm applying my own narrative to it. I think if I was my mom,
your mother,
well,
what do you think she would do?
Full surprises, and what I think is, if I was my mom, I would have gone, sorry, forget it, keep it anyway. Maybe you can use it as a pillow or something. Right. And then I think my mom, and at that point, I would have said, all right, listen, I'm going to run back in there.
Yeah.
Can I get you one or two things?
I wonder what she would want.
Well, we didn't get that far because
I'm dying to know what she would actually.
My mother went right back into, which sounds like a very bizarre shopping list. And my mother just pulls out a package of hot dogs.
Oh, she did?
Yes.
Okay.
And my mother hands the woman the hot dogs.
That we could work with. Maybe you could find a grill at I don't know if how homeless this person is, but
Is there a more homeless meal than cabbage and hot dogs? Like, well, you're really.
Cabbage wrap hot dogs.
Oh, I'm starving now.
I could probably do something with that.
The Barefoot Contessa presents.
If I was on like
Yes.
it's Oscar Mayer puree
Yeah.
pate.
Yeah. If you're living on $1.35 a day. Yeah. The Barefoot Contessa is on lean times.
That's my recipe. Cabbage wrapped Oscar Mayer pate.
And let's just workshop this
with a Welch's grape reduction.
You get the cabbage, you cover it in cheesecloth, you put it in a microwave, wet cheesecloth to steam the cabbage.
Sure.
Slice it, core the cabbage, okay, and then make sure the leaves are pliant, and then wrap the leaves around the hot dog, okay, with toothpicks or hat pins, maybe, if you don't have toothpicks.
Yeah.
And then at that point, if you don't have an oven because you're homeless, leave them on the hood of a car for 4 to 12 hours, depending upon what time of the year it is. Or if you have some sort of a lighter, maybe you could. But then I would say blister the hot dog and then wrap it in the damp.
I bet cooking homeless is better than cooking in prison, because you can't even get the stuff, because you could presumably shoplift the stuff. If you're, you know what I mean? And cook it in a park. You don't have three hots in a cot or shelter, but
you imagine like you own a 7-Eleven and you see a homeless woman come in with a cabbage and you're like, don't put that in my microwave. The whole place is going to smell like an Irish orphanage. Don't put the cabbage in my microwave. Okay. I see what you're going to do. I am aware of your shenanigans, Sandy. He knows her name. Yeah. Sandy, you're totally leave the Slurpee machine alone, Sandy. Don't suck at its teat. Don't suck at the Slurpee's teat. So anyway, so my mom apparently gave the woman the hot dogs and then I guess just left.
Wow.
Yes. And that's what happened there. So, and again, I'm not busting my mother's balls. The whole thing is just strange to me because I just think like I would, if I pulled the cabbage out, I'd be like, all right, this is not going to, what am I going to do with this woman? Going to give her a cabbage?
Yeah, it's got to be something very ready to go. I mean, it's got to be like lunch meat and bread.
It also,
I'm even throwing in a condiment.
Yeah. It also does feel like kind of a fuck you. Like,
a little bit. It feels like I didn't really want this.
And full disclosure, my mother was going to make that for a recipe. And I do not think my mother intended it for it to be like a fuck you. I don't think my mom was like,
and knowing that she was excited about the recipe, that actually bumps it up. That gives me it gives her a little more credit because she actually wanted to make that recipe.
Well, you think she just bought the cabbage in the hopes she'd meet a homeless person?
I think it's
she put it right on top of like healthy, delicious, nutritious food, and she was like, "Oh, in case I run into a homeless person, I'll just give him this." Like,
I think you know what? Not like knowing everything that I know now about the situation, I actually think your mother may, while misguided, have actually thought that was like a good thing to.
I think so.
To give, which is kind of funny.
I told my mom, I said,
kind of sweet.
I said, Mom, you should have put her in the car, taken her home, and made that Ina Garden cabbage for her and the kid.
Right.
And then at some point, I don't know, you could have, I don't know, but it is kind of like.
Even asked the lady if she liked cabbage, though.
No. Yeah. Or
if she said, "Do you like cabbage?" and she said, "Yeah, I love cabbage. My mom used to always make me this thing." You know,
yeah, that's way too much of a back and forth.
If that, and she went, you know what, I'm gonna do, and then she goes home, makes the recipe. There's always way too much, right?
Yes.
It's just her and your
Oh yeah,
right, her and her husband, right?
Yeah,
so
my new dad.
So you always need to like find something to do with the extra stuff. Bring it to the fucking lady.
Oh, the cabbage. I bet cabbage reheats beautifully. Like in a microwave, because once you cook it. I mean,
it kind of has one texture, really. It doesn't.
You can't overcook cabbage. I mean, I guess theoretically you could, but I think it almost feels like who's the guy I'm thinking of? Eric Andre. It's almost like an Eric Andre stunt. Like you see a homeless person that with the sign that says food,
you give her,
and you give them a cabbage. Or something that's equally like a bag of radishes or something that you can't, or like a potato. But but it is, or like, somebody goes, I'm homeless, and you just give them like a book on good parenting. You're like, this is something you clearly have never read.
Right.
Dr. Spock, How to Be a Good Parent. Plus, he's on the Enterprise, so he knows a thing or two. That's a different Dr. Spock. So anyway, so that's my mom's homeless
Wow.
homeless story there.
Let's
So,
say hi to some folks.
hey everybody.
And then because we got some fun comments.
Okay, good.
Shout out to Dr. Spurgenberg.
What's up, Dr. Spurgenberg?
Shout out to our girl Bridget.
Bridget is here.
Whom we haven't, I don't think we've heard from for a while. I was just cleaning out my closet.
Find R.
a couple
Kelly
of days ago, and we had a gift from Bridget. I got my pullover and a T-shirt from her family's pub.
You got to wear that shit.
McGeehan.
Yeah, you got to
McGeehan. I think that's
just like her last name. That's
sure.
So
I'm
cool.
assuming that's what I forget what it was called, but I.
By the way, a brief aside to Bridget is the place, the Emerald Tavern. We know where I spent my childhood.
Sure.
As we've noticed now, it's gone a little fancy, and now it's Ye Old Emerald. And they have an E at the end of old. So they have. I wonder if when they have like mozzarella sticks, there's an umlaut over the O now. Like they've gone. Maybe there's like a caviar board or something at Ye Old Emerald Tavern. They now have toilet paper in the stall. It's gone very fancy. Wow. There's hot water coming out of the sink in the bathroom. Anyway, so Bridget,
Bridget said, "Miss you guys terribly. Hopefully, I can stick around. For the whole show.
Busy girl.
I'm down the shore, about to hit the beach.
Fucking that girl's Philly through and through.
Love it. I'm putting it up on the screen so I can see what she looks like. Is that you, Bridget, in the picture? Or is that? I mean, this sounds corny, but is that you or your daughter?
Whoa. Yeah. She looks super young, right?
She looks pretty young.
Yeah. Well,
in which case, respectfully, if that's your daughter.
There's Irish girls in Philly.
Nice looking lady.
Age well.
Hi to our boy, Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Hi to the dude.
Hey, dude. Hi, the dude.
He's new. Hi to Husey.
Who's
Nice Irish fella.
Oh, hello. Bagana.
He's an Irish fella.
Is he really?
I've met him before.
Oh, no shit.
Well, he's kind of around.
He's probably like, this cabbage. What a lucky day for this girl.
Oh, yeah. Husey probably has a great
he's like, God, well, you guys are what? Excuse me. I didn't realize I invited the King of England to this podcast.
Husey says F blind people. That's his kind of. He's kind of one of these
giving me the beans
probably
a little
compound media giving you the beans.
Oh, taking the crack.
Hey to Ovio. Our boy Ovio Cool Cat says, Ovo Cool Cat. Go ahead.
Taking the piss. That's what it is. Sorry.
Taking the piss. Yeah. Taking the piss. Ovo says, boys, I know we are all anti-Vegas here, but when are we all going to make an appearance at the Green Room? I don't know what that is. Infamous sex club, SEX club there.
What in Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas, I guess.
You know,
and Ovo wants to
real quick. My buddy John just took his girlfriend, who's 25 years younger than he is. He just took her to Vegas for the first time, and they went to Sapphire. And his girlfriend is an African American gal.
Sure.
And he's white, which no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She's really hot, actually. I've seen pictures of her.
Nice.
He's got good. He won't show me he's got some good.
If I remember correctly, she's Caribbean, right?
Something like that, Jamaican or something, right?
So
they went to the Sapphire, and apparently they found like there was only one black girl working there. It was right before Cinco de Mayo.
They had to page her over the loudspeaker.
Yeah. Kaniqua, come to the Kaniqua. Can you come to
the main stage?
Cavassier to the main stage. Hennessy, the main stage, please. Right. Hennessy. But apparently they got the girl, they got a couple lap dances, then they went in the champagne room, and he said things got really crazy. And
scintillating.
He didn't expound upon that.
Really?
Well, I don't know. He didn't volunteer, and I didn't want to be too like.
You didn't want to pry.
But actually pull your fucking cock out. It was just kind of like, all right, that's cool. So
you could probably imagine. But was the couple they're both in the champagne room?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I know, right? Well, he said apparently now his girlfriend she really wants to go to strip clubs, and I was like, well, you got to go to Gallagher's, because whatever you spend at Sapphire, you could still be at Gallagher's.
Yeah, it's like going to a third world.
Yeah.
Somebody later on, we're talking about Gallagher's. Let's hello to Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Who else? Ovo, Ted, Joe, a lot of those guys. The dude says smash the mother, father, and like button. Tanktastic.
Yep.
Hell yeah, Brian.
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you.
You too. Thank you.
Good to see an actual show on YouTube. Get MLC out of retirement. Tanktastic's always going after MLC.
Yeah, well.
He's always talking about how much better of a time I look like I'm having here.
Well,
rather than MLC.
That's what we call faint praise,
right?
You know, like
I don't know what his like. He has a real bone to pick, I guess. And then Gustav, who's it says Adam never. He was trying to organize a going away party for me.
Okay.
On MLC at Gallagher's. Of course, you know, Brian, you are invited.
Sure, I would go.
But he said Adam never got around to having a going away party. Let's have a live pod from Gallagher's with Brian and Kevin. I'll cover all expenses.
Ooh.
And he's like a crazy millionaire.
Oh, cool. Where's he from? Is he Gustav?
I believe he actually is New York City based.
Well, listen, if
he's local, he knows Gallagher.
Okay. Well, if you're in New York, well, you'll obviously you're going to be there too. So I would be amenable to that. And I will tell you, I have spoken to, remember that guy that at Gallagher's looks like he's about 140 years old that came over to us when we were sitting there. When we ordered all the food.
And he brought us the plates. Yeah.
How you guys doing? You enjoying yourself today? Mm-hmm. You having a nice time here at Gallagher's?
There's some Corel wear.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Will you mind taking those plates into the bathroom and washing them when you're done? Yes. The sink in the back, we got a snake in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the snake claw climbed up the pipes. I don't know. We got a pet store next door. What are you gonna do? Go figure. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but I actually broached the topic with the guy. The problem, and again, this might be a problem that is the music. It seems like it'd be very loud.
Yeah. Well, we would just do a like on unauthorized, like I would just have a voice memo recording.
Oh, you wouldn't sign up.
We're not going to be able to like live stream and have video and shit.
We couldn't set up like a step and repeat
unless they're on board for it.
I talked
to you would have to actually talk to if you talk to the guy. I'm gonna doubt they have Wi-Fi that's capable of like running this because we have to run like a hard line.
Hey Tony, we got a Wi-Fi. We got Wi-Fi, Tony. Wi-Fi? I don't know. You're explain to me again. What is internet?
Just be fun to do like a special, maybe a Patreon segment.
Yes. Okay.
Where we just put the
all right.
Because if you just put this, you just put a a voice memo running, it'll get our voices and nobody knows it's happening.
Sure. But you're right. But I did actually kind of float it to the guy. Okay. I was like, hey,
by all means.
I mean, like, he knew who I was. He's a big fan. So, Ryan McCarthy for the interview show. Yeah, I know.
He actually approached you.
You got over 900 followers on Instagram. Not quite 1,000, but over 900. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. But I
stuck in a loop.
Yeah, exactly. He just has a stroke right in front of me in the bed. Got to get the papers. Shit. Get the papers. But the guy was saying. I said to him, I said, we do a podcast, which I swear to God, I don't think he had any idea what I was talking about. Right. Yes. But I was like, I'd love to do a podcast from here. And he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Get those plates back to me, though. Let's start with the plates.
Maybe if we talk to the manager or something.
I think he was.
He was a manager, well, maybe next time we're there, we'll really actually.
Yeah. I don't think there's much of a corporate structure there. So if he's not the manager, he's very close to the manager. But so anyway, to get back to this Gustav guy, we'll check it out because I would like to do that. Yeah, and I'm sort of dying to go back.
Yeah, I'm a hop, skip, and jump away.
I got my satin sweatpants.
I passed it when I went. Last weekend I went to that Korean barbecue place.
We went to. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, and I passed it.
Yeah.
Walked right by, and I went.
Well, I will tell you.
Longingly kind of stared.
Oh, man. For dessert, I want some pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So, okay.
Okay. Where were we? Hi to Matthew.
Hi, Matthew.
Hi to our boy Nick says, who do you guys got in the NBA Finals, Boston or Dallas? Either way, a white trash city wins. Yes. Yeah. Am I right? Let's go, Knicks, he says.
Yeah.
He's chipping us.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm not really following. I kind of was following for a second because the Minnesota Timberwolves, one of my buddies texted me and was like, hey, did you know the Minnesota's they were in like the Western Conference Finals or something for the first time in like 20 years.
Okay.
And I went, okay, well, check that out.
All I know is that the new white girl, everyone doesn't like her. Then they're apparently beating her up on the court or something. There's something going on with her. Some girl named Christy. Chris
Oh, you're talking about the WNBA.
Chris Christie, you know,
No,
the
I forget what her
former
name is,
no,
but yeah.
the former governor of New
Okay,
Jersey,
of New
big fat
Jersey.
guy. He's gone trans now,
And he's in the
and
WNBA.
he's now in the WNBA. He's like, hit me! I got the ball right here. Hit me! Like you're 70.
Yeah, there's some kind of thing. Somebody got called a white bitch.
Yes,
But did they check? Was she being one?
good point.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's what
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Our girl Bridget says, yes, it's me. I'm 37.
Yep.
I'm putting you back up on the screen, Bridget.
All right. Oh.
Getting close, just like Brian.
I will tell you something. I will tell you this
Pretty
though.
lady.
This is a little inside baseball, but like it's very cold already. It's too cold, I think, to go in the water right now in New Jersey. I feel like August is.
Yeah.
It's you need a couple of months to warm up that water. But she has a little kid, so maybe it's like
she's
they don't
got
give
a
a
small
shit.
child. Okay.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. The little kids don't have. I remember my kids would like go in the ocean. They come back, they'd be like fucking so blue, they're purple, and I'd be like, "What are you fucking Grimace or something? You fucking McDonald's character or something, Grimace? What are you grimacing because I drink too much, kids?" All right.
Okay. Helix Driver says, Brian, can you and Adam review the Blue Thunder yoga scene? What does that mean? Blue Thunder yoga scene?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I will Google whatever that is, Helix, and
I need a new Google stream of consciousness.
I think
words.
you might have it. Blue Thunder yoga scene.
Okay. Blue Thunder yoga.
I don't know what that is, but
do I need to like dress it up with a cream pie or amateur or anything, or just
hotel room?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
iPhone POV.
Reluctant Blue Thunder yoga party.
Lauren Ellis says Gallagher's.
Yep.
Exclamation point. Gallagher's free lunch buffet is the best. That's Lauren. That's our girl Lauren.
Oh shit! What's up, baby?
She was there.
Hey, cutie. Yeah, I remember her. She's great. She's so much.
Yeah.
She's
How
really
was
great.
the Penne, Lauren?
Oh, she's the Panela vodka. It actually had little miniatures of vodka in it,
floating around. Little vodka shooter.
Little shooters around it. Right.
I love it.
Yeah. Hi, Lauren.
Bridget says, I don't even go in the scum water. She says.
Yeah. Well.
So she just poses next to it.
She just has a Taylor ham and egg. Stands there in the water.
Oh, he says he or she, I don't know what Helix what your deal is, but Blue Thunder movie yoga scene. You'll both be happy.
Okay.
So Blue Thunder is the movie.
Okay.
What's Blue Thunder? I'm gonna look it up really
quick. Is that
quick.
the one with Roy Schneider? No. I can't believe that I'm thinking of that. Roy Schneider was the guy from Jaws. There's a movie maybe Blue Angel. I don't know. Oh, hey, Bridget, I don't know if you're still paying attention or not, but there is I am exploring the idea of doing wet wrestling again in Philadelphia. And it's now called the 2300 Arena on the corner of Swanson and Rittner.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then I'll be in Philadelphia sooner rather than later. So I'll keep you posted.
Right.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Wrestling's been pretty dry.
Yeah, time to wet it up.
The last 20 years.
By the way, if you want to follow, it's at The Real Wet Wrestling on Instagram and also Facebook. So I made those pages. They're brand new, but there's some wet wrestling content there from a while ago. And Eddie Ift was telling me that the 18-minute clip of wet wrestling, which is the thing that I had on pay-per-view, has over like 1 million hits. And Eddie was like, "You should do this again." And I was like,
or you could just upload the whole thing to the YouTube.
I could do that,
and then we could just get 1 million hits on it.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Probably. I don't know that you need to bring back. I mean, you can, but
we need new content. I need to get out of the house.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right. We could make up an excuse. I got to go upload. Adam and I got to upload something. God. We got to upload something.
When I moved,
and that's a gay code or something.
When I moved from Brooklyn back into Manhattan, I had a huge box of Shawshank Redemption DVDs, and I just threw them all out. I was like, I'm never reading these.
By the way, did you say Roy Scheider?
Roy Schneider.
Yeah, it's Roy Scheider. Scheider.
Yeah. He was also in.
Didn't he? I thought they said it was like a new movie.
Probably right. Roy Scheider's he's been dead for 30 years.
No, this is like from the 80s.
Oh, it is?
I mean,
the movie I'm talking about is the Roy Scheider.
I don't know if that's the one they're talking about.
Can't be.
Anyways,
we'll figure it out.
Good podcast.
I'm just going to
jerk everybody.
Whatever it is, I'm going to jerk off Adam to it. I don't care what it is.
There's a helicopter.
No,
Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Roy Scheider.
Yeah, could be that Tank movie with George Clooney and Ice Cube.
Knight Rider. I'll jerk off to a talking car.
You can't jerk off to David Hasselhoff. You're no queer.
Right. Yeah.
You're not gay enough for me.
Bridget says, "I'm there, baby. Say when."
God, so great. Yeah, because I'm gonna need. Now let's talk about this for a
I'm
minute.
starting to think Bridget's from our imagination.
I know, right?
Did we just?
I rubbed a.
Did
yeah.
we really?
I
don't
read
think Bridget's
instead
real.
of a genie in a bottle, you rub the bottle of
think
Yingling,
Bridget's
and she
real.
popped out of a bottle of Yingling.
I think
Oh,
Bridget's
no.
a great big fat guy.
I love it. No, she's got that fucking war hero husband and everything. She's a fucking
right.
gangster,
Okay.
man.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Girl-
right. That's
girls-
right. That
that's-
tracks.
We all need a Bridget in our
If
life.
she has a veteran husband, I believe that she's believable.
Yeah. No, I can't.
I don't know why, but that just makes it more believable that she would be here.
And if that guy's doing stolen valor, he's really working the bit because he like chopped his legs off. I'd be like, you know what? I don't care if those are fake medals or not. You're still getting $20 from me.
Oh my god.
You know?
Oh, Helix says, yeah, that's it. All right. Now we're just having a conversation.
Now we're just having. See?
Okay.
Hey,
anyways.
everybody! Podcast. This is called engagement. Okay, it's very important for the algorithm.
Yeah, it's super duper.
If I have one more person tell me about the word algorithm, I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out.
I had somebody the other day DM me about wanting to work on a thing, and they called it. They just referred to it as the algo, and I don't think
that's even worse.
I don't think I responded to that DM. I was so disgusted. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
the algo. He said, work the algo.
ugh.
I was like, boy,
Although I will say it is kind of crazy. Like if you, like I was talking to somebody about luxury RVs the other day.
Okay.
Because I hang with a pretty cool group of guys, and I was talking about them, and then I went on TikTok, and in my fucking TikTok feed,
I know it's crazy how that happens, right?
were all these like TikTok videos
Recreational
of some guy in there are a bunch of different sales guys in Tampa, and they're somehow they're on my TikTok, and they have like their iPhones, and they're like, "What's up, everybody? This is Paul," and they all sound like they're not from Tampa. Matter of fact, they sound like from like South Jersey. They're like, "We're here to look at the 24-foot wide Explorer 9. It's got the bust outs, and look at all this storage under
It's got
here."
the bust outs?
Yeah, and a lot of them, they get really excited if the shower is 6'5". They're like, "Look how tall you can be," and they always mimic taking a shower. They take the thing,
sure.
Right. Some of those fucking things are really cool, though. I will say, you know what? Remember Damon Dash?
Yeah,
black guy.
Yeah,
who I think got canceled or something.
Jay-Z's
yeah.
boy, right?
But
I think he like have
he
something with Rockefeller or something
like that. Wu-Tang, not Rockefeller, Fubu, who knows? Wu-Tang, Fubu, who knows? De La Soul. I'm just going to throwing out words from the 90s. Soul for Real, Be Real, Fat Joe the Gangster, Drew the Damaja. I don't know. So stupid. Anyway,
that's every rap thing he knows.
Yeah. Damon Dash. I remember
yep.
years ago, he, instead of having like a limousine, he had one of those like Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van things.
Yeah. A stretch one or just regular Sprinter?
Stretched enough.
Yeah,
like it was.
That's a fun living room on wheels.
That's exactly what it was. And apparently
strippers in there.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of Hennessy in there.
Sure.
Yeah. So it'd be funny if like you were making it rain in there and somebody had the windows down, so they had to back up and go pick the money up. Damon's like, "God damn it, all the singles are on the middle of Queens Boulevard."
Yes.
You guys, if we're gonna make it rain, we all have to agree, windows up.
Yeah.
Windows up, make it rain.
Sure.
But a lot of times these Tampa TikTok RV salesmen, they have those. Like they'll have versions of those. And they're expensive. They're not that expensive. Like they're about 150 grand, which is expensive for sure. I understand.
For the kind of person that probably wants something.
Yeah, but like you know what was cool about it? Like they're pretty much this. They're a little bigger than a minivan. They have captain seats that swivel around completely. They have like refrigerators in them that open on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
They have a queen size bed in the back, and they have like it's like a studio apartment. You're just kind of.
I have a friend that has this really cool. He's one of my older brother's good friends, but he kind of is like a ski bum.
Yep,
and he has a crazy. I'll send you his Instagram. His van has an Instagram, but he's got a customized Sprinter, like fully. But I mean, it's like built out. Amazing.
Like you've heard of Airstreams, right?
Sure, I love Airstreams.
Me too.
Yeah,
but Airstream have Airstreams that are built on that Mercedes-Benz chassis. And they're so it's an Airstream, but you can drive it around, and it has like,
oh wow,
and it's on a Mercedes-Benz chassis, but it looks like an Airstream. They're really fucking cool.
Cool. But, I thought about getting an Airstream and putting it on my parents' property.
Well, you know who did that famously was Sean Penn. His house burned down in Malibu, and he lived out of an Airstream for years. And actually, this is obnoxious, but there's a restaurant in the Hamptons, and they have like an Airstream on like while you're, I don't know, there's one there. It's for sale. You can buy an
Yeah.
Airstream for not that expensive,
right? I feel like it would be fun to like
Yes.
it's like a little cottage
Yes.
that you could park place. I don't know if you can just go park it. I know
Well,
you have to have some kind of permission, but
no, but I mean, you could, depending upon how close you were to the house, you could run a construction extension cable. Or
I
something.
was just thinking in terms of a place to leave it.
Yeah, just
leave it there and then like go on
People-
vacation and take it.
people make them as pool houses a lot of times. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you just kind of pull it out.
I'd have my above ground pool house. Put an above ground pool
yeah.
in front
Right.
of it.
And some of the
From
bigger
Sam's Club.
some of these bigger ones, the ones that are like $2.5 million, they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then somehow from those. Now there's another group of guys in Tampa that have these big boats, like power boats. Oh, hey, by the way, not this matters to anybody, but I'll take a bunch of pictures. Paul Denon is going to be in town. He's coming to town Sunday. Okay. He'll be in New York Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm looking forward to seeing Paul and his beautiful wife Amy. We're gonna do some stuff. I don't know. So there you go. Anyway,
there you go. There you have it.
There you have it.
Well, let's go to the Patreon and then
all right, everybody.
Stories.
Thank you, Bridget. It was nice to have a little back and forth with you and Ovio, of course, and anybody else. And again, if you just leave a comment, I'm not saying you got to be like, we like the show. Just if you just put an exclamation point or a fucking an R.
Fuck yeah. All caps. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And, or maybe 9/11 with a question mark.
We're real close to hitting our watch hour goal.
Yeah, we got to get the watch for something. It's very important. Been doing this for fucking 17 years. I've got so ridiculous. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself. All right, everybody, have a great weekend, and it's hot girl summer. So
yeah, hot girl summer. Kathy Ireland, look at her.
Look at her.
Sandy bomb.
Look at it. Oh, I'd love to fucking lick the shit out of her fucking asshole. Am I right? Go ahead.
All right.
What's got you shitting?
I won't fight you for it.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.